Morning, you're taking a live look over Perry right now at 6 a.m., 6:30 on this Wednesday, February 1st. I'm Ashlyn Webb.
And I'm TJ Anthony. Most of the fog has pretty much cleared out, but Alex, people could be seeing some rain starting tomorrow, right?
That's right. And actually this morning across central Georgia, we were doing okay until the past 30 minutes or so. We're really starting to see the fog develop not only here in Perry, but elsewhere across the area. So maybe allow just a few extra minutes on the roads this morning. Let's check out the map. We've got 4.8 miles of visibility in Warner Robins, but especially Bleckley County, Sumter County, areas down to the south and east, seeing the fog expand also up towards Milledgeville. So don't be surprised to see this expand here over the next few minutes. 59 in Macon, 58 in Warner Robins, 59 in Eastman, and 62 in Rochelle this morning. Up towards the north, we got 30s not too far away, and you keep going north. How about teens up into Indianapolis, St. Louis, Kansas City? So a very cold morning up there. Also watching the ice storm develop out towards Texas. So just a few showers here in central Georgia. Again, we look back to the west, you're going to run into that ice over parts of Texas today. Certainly going to be a weather maker out there. Meanwhile, we're going to be talking about temperatures in the 60s. Peaks of sunshine will be possible, calling it mostly cloudy through the day today with a high temperature right around 68 and a small sprinkle chance this morning to go along with it. But coming up in a few minutes, we will take a look at those details about that rain arriving late tomorrow and cooler weather for the weekend. All comes your way in just a moment.
Thanks, Alex. This morning, a man is in jail and several Warner Robins police officers on administrative leave after a 6-hour standoff.
Officers from the police department, as well as the FBI, U.S. Marshals, and Houston County Sheriff's Office blocked off a neighborhood as they tried to negotiate with 32-year-old Ronaldo Rashawn Smith. Smith had warrants in the city as well as charges in Texas.
We knew that within a little bit you're going to start seeing school buses and other things return to the neighborhood. So that all entered into the decision to go ahead and to try to bring it to a conclusion.
Smith locked himself in his home on Somerset Drive just yesterday morning, hiding from law enforcement, trying to serve him warrants. But after hours with no resolution, Warner Robins interim chief Roy Whitehead says the SWAT team made a move. They deployed tear gas in an attempt to get Smith to come out. He then opened fire at the officers.
Officers fired back and Smith got hit in the forearm. He got treated at the hospital.
Anytime someone gets hurt and we have to use force, but this is a positive outcome because he will be recover from his injuries.
Whitehead says Smith could face more charges like unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. Whitehead says he believes they handled the situation appropriately.
No officers were hurt. The officers that shot at him will be on administrative leave while the GBI investigates, which is standard procedure. At this time, we don't know how many officers that will affect.
The time is 6:33. A suspect is now charged in the attack on his South Bibb County family that left the store manager dead and his wife and daughter hurt. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says 40-year-old Terrell Mills is charged with felony murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault. Mills is currently being held at the Jones County Sheriff's Office for charges from their office. On Friday, January 21st, suspects approached the driveway of a home on Thoroughbred Lane, shooting and killing Pinal Kumar Patel and hurting his wife and daughter. The Sheriff's Office says more charges and arrests are coming.
Right now, a man faces 2 life sentences and another 30 in prison after a robbery and murder. This week, a Bibb County judge sentenced the 2 men for crimes they committed in 2018. 21-year-old Ari Calloway was sentenced to 2 life sentences. 2 years ago, a jury convicted him of murder and other charges. Jeremy Kendrick was sentenced to 30 years with the first 10 in confinement until possibility of parole. He was originally charged with murder, but his trial last year ended in a mistrial. This week, he pleaded guilty before his new trial was scheduled to start. The 2 men were 16 years old in 2018 when they were arrested after 2 convenience store shootings. Calloway shot and killed Alpesh Kumar Prajapti, a clerk at the Gulf Food Mart on Napier Avenue. Prosecutors said the clerk had already turned over the store's cash. A third suspect, Vernon Ashley, is still awaiting trial.
The time is 6:34. Right now, leaders across the state ask for your help. They're calling on you to help them fight human trafficking at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. They're airing a public service announcement and posting it on their monitors to know of the signs of human trafficking and how to speak up if you see it happening. Delta is also committing to training all drivers and pilots on how to spot human trafficking. State Attorney General Chris Carr says his human trafficking prosecution unit has recovered 116 victims since 2019.
There are those in our society who seek to buy and sell children for sex. And when they do, they destroy a child's life, their youth, and their innocence. And in Georgia, we've chosen to say no more, not on our watch.
The governor plans to introduce a bill this legislative session to increase penalties for organizations that fail to report human trafficking.
That's not the only bill lawmakers plan to introduce in this year's legislative session. One includes adding suicide screenings in public schools. It would require suicide screening services in public schools for children as young as 8 years old. Helping the mental health of Georgians is a rare bipartisan issue at the Capitol and appears to extend to this new House bill focused on school children. The U.S. Surgeon General says over a recent 10-year period, the number of high school students who seriously considered suicide jumped by 35%. Advocates of the bill say Georgia has lacked sufficient mental health services for children, and putting such services in schools makes sense.
Plus, another bill that's being introduced, House Bill 135. It aims to make gun owners responsible if their weapon is used during a crime. The bill's sponsor, State Representative Mary Margaret Oliver, says the bill is about holding gun owners accountable when they're irresponsible with their gun, like not keeping it secured. But she says it's not just about criminals getting hands on someone else's guns. If passed law, the law makes gun owners liable when a child possesses their firearm.
And once again, state lawmakers pushed to ban the use of plastic bags in grocery stores. In the past, this effort was resisted. Supporters say Georgia's inattention to the issue of disposable plastic bags hurts both people and the environment. They say the bags are difficult to recycle and easy to toss away, ending up in landfills or waterways. Recently, volunteers cleaned a portion of the Chattahoochee River and it was filled with plastic. Democratic State Senator Donzella James says she wants to ban the bags in Georgia. 8 years ago, the Georgia Senate passed a bill that would have forbid local governments from banning plastic bags. The bill never became law.
The time now is 6:37. The state Senate is also working on a bill that prohibits delivery services from using unsavory practices. Bill 34, it prohibits drivers from driving in unsanitary conditions like smoking in a car and requires temperature control containers for food. Restaurants like Harp and Bowl on Mulberry Street say it's about time. Charlotte Etheridge says she's had good experiences with food delivery services, but the bad ones include customers calling saying something was missing from their order, food wasn't delivered on time, or food just was cold. TJ Jones, manager at Barefoot Tavern, says the bill sounds good in theory.
From a consumer standpoint, it's safer, right? There's a more guarantee that it's going to be, sanitary. It's going to be exactly what you ordered. It'll be warm when it arrives. From a businessman standpoint, there is some concern on the availability of who's going to be driving. How are they maintaining their cars? How are they verifying their cars are clean?
One DoorDash driver we spoke to says this regulation is for the best because right now it's easy to steal or even scam someone. She says services like DoorDash already have standards for their drivers, like having a clean car. 5 Georgia senators co-sponsored the bill, and a Senate committee is currently reviewing it.
Listen up, bus riders. You'll want to listen to this. If you ride the bus in Macon, your commute will soon cost a bit more.
That's right. For the first time in 15 years, the Macon Transit Authority says it'll soon raise its rates. The Macon Transit Authority says they'll raise their base rate from $1.25 to $1.75. CEO Craig Ross says inflation is all behind this.
He says legally their paratransport rides need to double the base rate. It'll go up as well to $3.50 a ride. Robert Reynolds rides the bus regularly. He says he understands the decision, but he doesn't necessarily agree.
Inflation is inflation. I mean, as you say, we got to live, we got to eat, we got to ride. So however it goes, we got to pay that money. Oh, it is what it is.
Now, there's no timeline yet on when those rates will increase and will take effect. That's because the first Macon Transit Authority needs to give opportunities to the public and people to share their concerns they may have.
After that, the authority can set a date and make it official. Once the new rates are final, MTA will include one bus transfer in your fare.
That's right. And in addition, transfer will cost you a quarter. Right now, each transfer costs you 50 cents.
An increase in energy prices is soon to come as well. By April 1st, Flint Energies will join them. The power company says it'll increase its base charge from $32 to $34. That's a yearly increase of $24. Flint says it's continuing to gradually align the monthly access charge with the fixed cost of operating an electrical system.
The time now is 6:40. As schools eliminate teaching about race, one professor continues to teach his truth. How he continues to shed light on history is coming next.
Plus, gas prices now soaring coast to coast. Next, we break down why that's happening, plus some ways you can save. Your time now, 6:40, and Alex, tomorrow it sounds like it's going to be your favorite day. Favorite day for meteorologists, something you call rodent day?
Yes, it's our competition tries to take on meteorologists. The groundhogs try to forecast for the next 6 weeks. So yes, rodent day is tomorrow, and if anybody has any good rodent recipes.
Ew.
No, please leave the groundhogs alone.
You can't
Please, they're
do that.
innocent.
Are they endangered? I wonder. I need to Google.
They're part of like the squirrel family. I mean, it's a rodent essentially.
Yes,
so
but we should still, protect their lives, Please, Alex, do not cook.
protect their
That
lives
doesn't
in a
sound
big,
appetizing at
big
all.
pot of
Groundhogs.
soup. Yeah. All right, let's take a live look over downtown. We've got temperatures in the 60s and 50s this morning. 59, the current number here in Macon. Overcast skies. The winds, they are calm. But yeah, it's the first day of February, and look at the temperature map. It is abnormally warm. In fact, these are pretty close to our average high temperature for any given February 1st. Also starting to see the fog develop this morning. Visibility down to a mile in Eastman, down below a mile in Americus, about 5 miles in Swainsboro, below a mile in Vidalia. So maybe allow a few extra minutes on the roads. At the top of the half hour, we took a live look in Perry and saw the fog developing along Interstate 75. Also, about 4.5 sprinkles out there this morning. If you do see anything, it will not last too terribly long. We did see a steady rain through the overnight hours for a brief period of time, though. Up to the north, though, wintry weather. If you are headed up to Tennessee today, over towards, say, the Nashville, Memphis area, very icy conditions. Maybe not the best day to do that. And then especially out towards Texas. Man, an ice storm going on out there. They could get about 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of ice, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that can do a number to the roads. It was slipping and sliding all over the place. Luckily, not talking about that here in central Georgia. I'm going to call it mostly cloudy today. A handful of people could see the sun come out before all is said and done, although not everybody's going to see the sun today. Then into tomorrow, we're going to be waking up to showers across the northern tier counties tomorrow morning through the afternoon hours, keeping it overcast as rain begins to build in through the afternoon. Certainly by the evening, a steady rain will build in across central Georgia. It could be heavy at times. Great sleeping weather Thursday into Friday morning, and then we're hoping to get the back edge of the rain out of here by the time we're all headed to work and school Friday morning. Although I do want to note, after several days of being very warm, we will be cooler for Friday morning. Temperatures down mid to low 40s across central Georgia, and then even more so for Saturday morning. Now, as we get into the weekend, we are going to be talking about fairly dry conditions across central Georgia. Could even see the sun on Saturday and Sunday. No real rain concern there. And honestly, for the first part of next week, we are looking okay as well. And that's some welcome news on top of what was a very warm and very wet January. So now that the numbers are done, you can see we talked about a very warm start to January, then a fairly average finish to January, but the rainfall, we racked it up. 8.74 inches of rain. In fact, I had somebody from Milledgeville message me that they got over 9 inches of rain in the month of January there. More than doubled the normal rainfall in any given month, the first month of the year. 68 today, a small sprinkle chance, mostly cloudy skies. Then for tomorrow, we will be breaking out the soup pots for rodent day, groundhog day. Yes, 80% chance of rain. So a lot of clouds around tomorrow morning. I don't think the groundhog's going to have much luck in seeing a shadow, but he can try. There we go through the weekend, though. The rain clearing out by Friday afternoon. 51 on Saturday, 59 on Sunday.
Alex, if you wanted to know, I found out the groundhog is not endangered,
Yes.
so that's a fun fact. Well, check this out, Maconites. Actress Carrie Preston from Macon shared on her Instagram page some details on a new spin-off series getting developed around her character, Elsbeth, from the show The Good Wife and the streaming version, The Good Fight.
Now, the CBS spinoff is called Elsbeth. It all centers around her character, and the plan is for the show to air in the 2024 TV season. Stay with us. We'll be right back.